The Petroleum Industry Bill remains the most talked about, discussed in oil and gas sector lately, as everyone sees the law as a necessity for any meaningful reform to take place in the sector. It is against this reality that the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, and Facility for Oil Sector Transparency and Reform, FOSTER, organized the stakeholders dialogue at addressing the lacunas bedeviling the passage of the bill. Speaking with newsmen at the sidelines of the event, the chairman, House Committee on Petroleum Upstream, says the National Assembly is most likely to pass the bill before the end of this year. He also outlines some challenges that might be encountered before the passage of the bill.
We are working very hard on it. I don't think it will go beyond this year. I said so. I don't think it will go beyond this year. What happens to it again becomes the issue of the executive. We don't sign laws. The only way I expect, if they will be challenged, is the issue of the host community, where we now what percentage will go to the host community and what percentage will be go to what we call accelerated or attached communities. Because where exploration is taking place is not the same with where pipeline is just passing. Those are the issues, and how would their interest be secured? That is quite critical.
Speaking earlier, these stakeholders emphasized need for the passage of the said bill, as according to them, is the only way to get it right in the sector.
With obvious decline in the oil and gas sector, the recurrent instances of corruption in the sector has called for urgent, intervention of the National Assembly to ensure that the basement of the interests of the international oil companies, losses of revenue amounting to about 200 billion. So we believe that if there's any time that National Assembly should actually, fast track this process, is now, so that the country will not continue to face, the kind of embarrassment we have witnessed in the last couple of weeks.
I think right now we come to 30. I mean, 5 years ago, and every year now we come to jobs with many people. One of the crises we had about 2.5 years ago, we were still not a good cycle when there were violence in the office. And we had collective crisis because that we were doing fertilizer economy. Now have fights all sector plays in the Nigerian industry. So I thank you all for your efforts on this. We are here to support you. This is part of other partners, right? Because the person directly as well. Our colleagues there work with me on various big priority of call us at any time, or any number of anything about the bill. We have no agenda, but the agenda of what good for Nigeria, what's best for us. And I think that at the end of the day, when we are rising the level of the people that are passing exemplary, each of them make those changes.
It is worthy of noting that this bill has remained elusive and yet to be passed into law even after 12 years, when it was first conceived, in spite of commitments made by previous governments and expressed commitments both by the executive and the legislature. But its promise has been made by the National Assembly on its passage before the year runs out. What is left is for them to marry words to actions, as well as for the executive to fulfill its promise of passage as made during its campaign.